Hi guys, we are back for day 3. Today I tried to wake up at 7 a.m. guys, and I'm trying to actually make it 6. So this was just a test, a trial run, shall we say. It turned out well, I guess, because I woke up at 7 a.m. and it was so weird because as soon as it hit 7, my whole body just rose up like the Undertaker coming up from his little coffin. I literally just lifted up out of the bed because I was already lying on my back. And I just went about my business. But I was tired because I slept at 9 or 10. I think it was 9. I slept at 9 yesterday. I woke up at 1:30 randomly, and then I just didn't go back to bed until 5. I don't know what's been going on lately, but I've just been waking up at random times and struggling to go back to sleep. So I'm not feeling the most energized today, but hopefully I have a good day and get things done, because guys, I still have a dissertation to write, mind you. I'm in university. So yeah guys, when I first stepped out of my accommodation with my natural hair out, I was feeling kind of naked. Like, I just felt exposed. I felt like I had just gone outside, and I've written this in my journal, actually, day 1, which you can read on my Substack. But there was nobody outside when I stepped outside, which was kind of shocking because it was around 6 p.m. and there was just no foot traffic in my path. So after I'd gotten to the main road, that's when I started to check if people were checking for me. A whole bus drove past, and I was literally looking in the bus as I was crossing to see if anyone was looking at me, and I just couldn't tell because it was a whole bus and it was not that close for me to see. People were looking in my direction, but they probably weren't looking at me. So yeah, when I went into Co-op, because there's a Co-op nearby, I went to the Co-op. There was this one lady, and she was standing right by the entrance, and I don't know what was really up with her, but her eyes were just, and she was just staring at the door. So I was thinking, oh yeah, this is where it starts. This is where the weirdness starts. I was thinking, did she look like this before I walked in, or is she looking at my hair like that? Because I didn't make eye contact with her straight away. I really don't know what her deal was, because when I walked out, she was staring the exact same way. So that's how I knew she wasn't looking at me. She's just tweaking. I'm gonna make my middle part straight though, because last time I did this, I kind of just parted the hair, or I just let the hair part itself naturally. And so yeah, I'm gonna just straighten that out. But yeah, so when I walked out is when I realized, girl, she was not checking for you. I don't know who she's checking for, but if I was them, I'd be scared. I walked out and I went to Tesco because Co-op didn't have what I wanted. I'm on a budget right now, guys. I'm on a budget until SFE dropped. For those of you who don't live in the UK, it's just our student loan, maintenance loan. So yeah, they didn't have what I wanted, and I'm on a tight budget. So I went to Tesco instead. Actually, I forgot to mention, whilst I was in the Co-op, I passed by this black girl, and she looked up at my afro, and then she looked at me, and I was thinking, okay, so that's one person who's noticed and acknowledged the afro. I feel like it was from there that I realized that black people were paying more attention to it than other races. Because when I was walking past other races in the Co-op, they didn't seem to care. But black people were the ones who were like looking at my afro. And to be fair, it was like 2 people at that point. But yeah, so I walked to the Co-op, guys, and as I was walking to the Co-op, I kept on looking at people to see if they were looking at me, and I just couldn't stop doing this. I was looking at people, and I walked past this one Asian couple and these 2 Arab girls. I can't tell what country they were from, but I knew that they were Asian and Arab. And I realized that as I was walking past them, I was like nervous on if they would maybe laugh or just do something weird or like racially motivated hate. I don't know, guys. And please don't cancel me for this. Like, genuinely, I am being so honest because these conversations need to be had. I was thinking to myself, like, are they going to say something to me? And it's not because I think every Arab or Asian is racist, but sometimes they're racist to us. Sometimes they are racist to black people. And I've had my own experiences in the past where they've just been weird to me. Maybe not Arabs, actually. And I'm generalizing because I don't know what countries these people were from. Like, if I knew, maybe I'd say, like, please don't get offended. But I just have to give you guys a description. Like, I've been profiled, guys, basically, in my day. I've been profiled a couple of times. It doesn't happen regularly. What I will say though is that with white people, this was happening too. So it's not just Asians, Arabs, it was just anybody who's not black. I was looking at them and thinking, are you gonna laugh at me? Are you gonna say something racist? Did I end up getting profiled? No. But that's what was happening in my head on the way to the shop. Hold on, let me do my other puff and I'll come back. Were people looking at my hair? Black people more so, but other people from other races were also looking. And I think it's because my hair was standing up. Like, it's only an afro that stands up. So when people look at the afro, they're going to look up. They're going to look at your hair. If your hair was down by your side, then they would look by your side. Like, so people were looking up at my afro, but that's not a bad thing. It just feels a bit more, like looky. I don't know how to describe it. You just feel like you're getting looked at more. Because you know that thing that wicked people do, wicked and bad people do, where when they don't like somebody, they'll look up at their forehead to make them insecure. It's kind of like that. It felt like that. It felt a bit like that. That's like the best way to describe it. It felt like just more of a look. Like obviously if my hair's hanging down, like braids, people look at my braids. Sometimes you can tell, but sometimes you can't because it's so close to your face. You think they're just looking in your face. But when somebody has to look up to see your hair, it's kind of like, oh, are you trying to, why does this feel different? What's going on? I don't know how to describe it, guys. It's such a weird feeling and I can't wait to get over it. I have to first sit in it. I have to first unpack these feelings, but I cannot wait until I don't feel like this anymore because yeah, it doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel too good. Breakage. I think it's from the rubber bands. Somebody commented on my TikTok that using rubber bands is not good for your hair. And I think that's what it is because every time I take them out, my hair breaks out. I should probably get different hairbands to use. But yeah, it is very important to go outside and make our own opinions of things instead of listening to social media because nobody profiled me. People didn't even really care. But when I went into the Tesco, right, I was walking around the aisles and I saw, I think 2 black people. The first black person I saw, he literally, so I was standing in the aisle, he was here, and then I looked his way because he wasn't either carrying on walking or going in the aisle. So I looked at him, I turned my head to look at him, and then he was already looking at me. And then he walked. So I was thinking, Unc, because he was like 30. I was thinking, Unc, what's going on here? Unc, what's really going on? Were you stunned by the afro? I don't know what he was doing. Like, guys, I honestly don't know. But he was just standing there and he was looking at me already. I don't know if he was looking at my hair, but yeah, he looked at me. He was already looking. I think he wanted me to turn and look at him. I don't really. And then he walked down the aisle. He didn't get anything from the aisle. He walked back up the aisle, looked at me again and carried on walking. And so that was the first experience that I was like, oh, you know, it didn't seem like he was like checking me out or anything. So that's why I was thinking, did I take him back to the 90s where people actually wore their afro out? Like, what's going on here? Because he looked about, 30 is generous. He looked about 45, 50, to be quite frank. Definitely somebody's dad. I'm not sure what that was about. But it didn't feel nasty or anything, so that's good. And then the second instance was when I was going to checkout now. There was a black dude and he was walking past the checkout. Was it this way? Yeah, he was going this way. He was going this way and I was going this way to go to the checkout. And so when he saw me, he was about to turn because I just kind of branched the corner to start walking. And so he was already about to turn. Then he literally stopped, looked up, looked at my whole entire face in afro and then carried on walking. And I was like, okay, so this is happening again. And he never looked again after that. And it was one of those involuntary responses, I could tell, where he wanted to carry on going, but his body literally stopped. And he looked at the afro, carried on walking. And so it was black people who were having physical responses to this afro. And I don't know if Unc was also, if his body also just stopped involuntarily, but Unc was definitely checking the afro out. And that black dude who was around my age, he was also checking out the afro. So I think it provokes something in fellow black people when they see a black woman with their afro out. I think it provokes something in them. And I think it's a good thing because in their face, it wasn't like they were, with the young boy, I couldn't tell actually. With Unc, it didn't seem like he was checking me out. With the younger one, it seemed more so like admiration, if anything, in both senses. Because it wasn't giving like, oh, like, I like how you look. Like when I have braids in, if that was to happen, then I would assume they're just checking me out at that point. Or they recognize me from maybe TikTok or something. Because sometimes people recognize me. Not too often, but sometimes it does happen. So I was like, okay, like either with the young one, maybe he recognized me. Or maybe it was the fro. I think it was the fro though, because he looked up at the fro. But it is provoking physical responses in black individuals. I've kind of defined the curls a little bit at the ends. But I think what I'll have to do is maybe go in and brush it out, comb it out, and then do my little plaits again to kind of stretch it. It's in need of detangling, I won't lie. Some of the pieces are getting a bit tangled because of the gel when I sleep and stuff, although I do braid it up when I sleep. Somehow it's still kind of tangling a little bit. I think it's what I do after I take the braids out that's kind of causing that. I wanted to get into a topic though. This topic is a bit touchy, guys, because it's very taboo. But it's another thing that I have realized, and I think that it's really important to touch on in this video. From day one of me talking about my natural hair, I noticed that if a black man was going to give me a compliment about it, he would slide in the DMs. Like, I got a couple of DMs about it. I got a couple of comments from people I could tell were black men saying that it looks good and stuff, but it was mainly black women. And the DMs that I got was what really stood out to me. When the black men were DMing me, guys, they were literally apologizing for telling me it looked good. They were apologizing. I'm not exaggerating. I would insert some, but I feel like that's kind of a breach of privacy. I don't know. I'll think about it. But they were apologizing to me while saying that my hair looked good. I'm going to paraphrase, but a lot of them were saying stuff like, I know it's not my place as a man to insert myself in these conversations, but I just wanted to let you know that the afro looks good, and I'm not trying to flirt with you, but I just wanted to let you know. Something like that. And some of them would have the I'm not trying to flirt with you on the end. Others would just say like, yeah, I know that my advice isn't wanted. Not advice, I know that my comment isn't needed or wanted by you, but I just have to tell you. And I think that's so sad. I'm going to come out and say, I think it's sad because the natural hair discourse that has started on TikTok, it was started by a black woman. Her @ on TikTok is like Shorts X or something like that. If you type that up, you see her videos. Lovely, lovely, lovely commentary on this topic. And it quickly turned into a discussion about how black men have added to black women's insecurities with their natural hair. It started off as let's unpack what black men did to us. Then it turned into let's unpack it. Black men were making response videos saying like, you know, guys, we actually like your natural hair. We like your natural hair. And then they were being stitched and people were saying like, get out of our business. People were telling them to get out of our business, to stop inserting themselves into the conversation and telling us our hair looks good because we don't need that validation. And we don't want to hear what they have to say about it when they're the ones who bullied us. So black men were responding to us saying that they have added to our insecurities. And some were making videos saying that like, guys, we love your natural hair. Wear it out more. We want to see your hair more. We don't want to see you in wigs. And then black women were responding back and saying that, well, that's what you guys like. What do you mean you don't want to see us in wigs when that's all you guys follow on Instagram? If we go through your following, we're going to see girls in wigs. What do you mean? Like, don't be disingenuous. So it quickly turned into just like back and forth, getting the community nowhere. Just arguments, petty arguments, and it just got unproductive. Now, what I will say is it's very sad because I feel like black men are very important in this conversation. Because a lot of us have been told by black men that our hair is ugly, that it doesn't look good, that 4C hair, my hair texture in particular, is not cute. I feel like black men coming out and telling us why they said that is very important. Black men reaffirming all black women in their comments when we come out and show our hair, I think that's important. I don't feel like they should be scared to do that. And it's not seeking male validation. But if you've been hurt by black men, if they have told you your hair's ugly, like for me, like I've seen it online, they've said comments to me, it's important for them to come out and be like, no, we actually like your hair. We're sorry. You look good. That is an important aspect of this, I do feel. And it's not seeking male validation whatsoever. It's not about attraction. It's about them acknowledging that that afro looks fire. I love how your afro looks. It's not even about you, the person. It's about your hair. And the fact that they were feeling scared to just say that my hair looked nice is quite sad. Because they were thinking that their advice was, or their comments were unsolicited, because it's not advice. They were thinking their comments were unsolicited. But it's like, I'm posting this on the internet for everybody to comment about. I understand. People are going to have nice things to say. People are going to have unkind things to say. It's important, though, for black men to give us their commentary and tell us that our afros look cool. Because, for example, say the roles were flipped and there wasn't this whole thing of like, we don't need your validation. We're not seeking male validation. If it was a black man who felt insecure about his natural hair because black women had bullied him about it, and he came online saying, guys, I want to unpack this. Black women commenting on that video saying, we love your hair, it looks good. If they actually thought that, I'm pretty sure that would help him to feel good about the hair in some capacity. It's not like they're calling him attractive, saying, oh, you look so good like this, we like you like this. No, it's just saying your afro looks good. So the same people that caused some of that insecurity are now making up for it and making videos. It's important to make videos as well for them to have a say in this and say, because I've seen videos like this and this was very good. A black man came on TikTok and he was like, yeah, like all of my friends kind of pressured me to have a certain type, to be attracted to the light skin with bright eyes and looser curls. Me personally, I've always liked a 4C afro. People are scared. Black men are scared to come out and say how they really feel about this. What they have to say, what was done to them as well, what was said to them as well, for them to now project that onto us, it's important that we unpack that too. So the fact that they were like scared to say your afro looks good, it looks cool, I think that's so sad. But anyways, guys, I need to speed this up before my storage gets full again. But this is the final look. Once again, my fringe doesn't want to stay down, but it does actually, as the day goes on, it does kind of like flop down by itself. So I won't force it. I do need to apply a bit more moisture to the fringe in particular. I think this looks so cute. And every day I'm loving it more and more. And I think that's so beautiful because I'm capturing it. So yeah, I feel really good about this today. Forehead is busting, it's booming out the seams, but I mean, I have a big forehead. What can I say? Like, I love it. Thank you for tuning in for day 3. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok because I will be updating you guys there in real time whenever I have like these realizations. I'll be making short videos. Guys, I'm trying to make an outro and it's just not working. I will see you in the next video.